So we are continuing with our Krishna Leelas, and today we'll see Krishna and Balram. They are entering into Mathura. So from where they are entering into Mathura?
From Vrindavan, Prabhuji.
Yes. So we can see Krishna and Balram, they are heading towards Mathura. So the background here is Kamsa. We know all Kamsa, one of the very evil demon. So what Kamsa did, he called his expert elephant trainers, and he called all the wrestlers, and he made a plan. He called all of them and he made a plan. And he told all of them that, oh my dear friends, please try to hear me very attentively. And this Kamsa said that at Nand Maharaja's place in Vrindavan, there are two brothers. So in Nand Maharaja's place, there are two brothers called as Krishna and Balram. And they are the son of this Vasudeva. And Kamsa said, as you know that I have been destined to kill by Krishna. That is why I called all of you. And I am requesting all of you that you help me arranging my plan. So what was the plan? So Kamsa, he arranged a wrestling match. So we all know that in our country earlier times, now it is very less. But in earlier times, different parts of the country, people come to see this festival where there used to be a wrestling match. And these wrestlers used to fight one with another. And Kamsa, he planned that, and he said to all these people, all the elephant trainers and wrestlers, he called him, I have arranged to get these two boys. So who are these two boys? Krishna and Balram. So I arranged, and somehow I made an arrangement to call these two boys. And you, all you people, you will be trying to kill them in this wrestling match. And then Krishna, this Kamsa, he also advised all his friends to arrange a worship of Lord Shiva. So by offering animal sacrifice and performing the sacrifice called as Dhanur Yagna. So what Kamsa advised, he said he will do one sacrifice which will be performed on the 14th day of the moon. That is also known as Chaturdashi. So as you know that Chaturdashi, it falls 3 days after Ekadashi. And one of the plenary position of Lord Shiva is also called as Kala Bhairava. So this form of Lord Shiva, it is worshipped by demons. And what the demons do, they offer animal sacrifice by killing these animals and present it before Kala Bhairava. And this process, it is still, even currently, it is there in some part of the India. And there is a place called Vedanatha Dhama, where generally what happens, the demons offer animal sacrifice to the deity of Kala Bhairava. And this Kamsa, he belonged to this demonic group. So he quickly arranged all his demon friends try to kill Krishna and Balram. So in that process, he also called Akura. So anybody remember who is Akura?
Krishna's mama.
So actually, from which family he belongs to?
Mm.
So he was also a
Vishnu.
demon. He belongs to the family of Yadu, in which Krishna was born as a son of Vasudeva. So he called Akura. Who? Kamsa. This demon Kamsa called Akura. So Akura was one of his very good friend, and Akura was also uncle of Krishna. So Kamsa invited Akura to his palace, and he shook hands with him, and very politely he said, "My dear Akura, I have no better friend than you, and I am begging you for charity. So I have taken shelter of you, similarly, exactly like how King Indra takes shelter of Lord Vishnu." And then Kamsa, he requested Akura, please go immediately to Vrindavan and find these two boys. These two boys named Krishna and Balram. And these two boys are son of Nand Maharaj. And I have made one very nice chariot specially prepared for these boys, and bring them here immediately. And this is my request to you. And then Kamsa told Akura his plan. And he told, my plan is to kill these two boys. And as soon as these two comes in the gate of Mathura, there will be a very giant elephant by name Kuvalaya Pida waiting for them. And possibly this elephant will be able to kill both of them. But if somehow these two, they escaped, they will be met with all these wrestlers. And these wrestlers will be kill these two boys. So that way, this is my plan. And after killing these two boys, I will also kill Vasudeva and Nanda, who are the supporters of Lord Vishnu. And after that, I will also kill my father. Who was his father?
Ugrasena.
Ugrasena. I will also kill my father Ugrasena and his brother Devaka, because they all are my enemies. And I want to get rid of all my enemies. And my father-in-law, Jarasandha, and my very dear friend, monkey friend, named Divida. With the help of all of them, it will be very easy to kill all the kings on the surface of earth who support these demigods. So as you know, in earth there are two kind of human beings. One was these demigods and humans, and then there are these demons. And this Kamsa, he wanted to kill all these demigods and all the supporters of Lord Vishnu. So he said, surely I will get rid of all my enemies like this. So you please go immediately to Vrindavan and encourage these boys to come here and see the beauty of Mathura. And invite them to take pleasure in this wrestling competition. So after hearing this plan of Kamsa, Akura immediately replied. What Akura replied? Oh, my dear king, your plan is very excellent. Your plan is very excellent. But please remember that a man propose and God dispose. So we know this very well. That man may have many plans. We propose many plans. But until there is the approval of Lord, nothing can happen. So a man may propose, but God may dispose. So we may take very great plan, but unless they are sanctioned by the supreme authority, they will fail. But this Akura, he was very loyal friend of Kamsa. So that is why he said, I have nothing against in your proposal. And as a friend, I shall carry out your order and bring this Krishna and Balram here. As you desire, I will bring them. And then Akura started his journey towards Vrindavan. So whoever who intend to visit Vrindavan, they should and they must follow the ideal footstep of Akura. So this is for all of us, right? Whenever we go to Vrindavan, we should follow these footsteps of Akura. What he did? So he constantly think about the pastimes and activities of Lord. So whenever we go to any holy dham, let it be any temple, let it be any holy place. So we must, before going that, we have to come into the mood of the pastime, thinking the pastime of Lord and activities of Lord. That is what similarly now we are doing. So before Janmashtami, we are actually having the 16 days of Krishna pastimes. By getting into the mood of Lord, by thinking the pastimes of the Lord and discussing about the Lord, we are actually welcoming Lord for the Janmashtami. So as soon as Akura reached the boundaries of Vrindavan, he immediately smeared the dust of Vrindavan over his bodies without thinking his material position and prestige. So generally, devotees go to Vrindavan with a very casual and very cautious way. They think if they put the dust of Vrindavan in their body, their prestige will go down. What the other people will see and think. But you see this Akura, immediately he went to Vrindavan, he put all the dust of Vrindavan over his bodies. And just like a pure Vaishnava, he always think himself that he is unfit to serve Krishna. And remember that instead of, there is one thing we directly serve Lord Krishna, but even better than that is assisting something or indirect way of serving Lord Krishna. That way Lord is very happy. That is why we see, right? Devotees go to the temple. So only Pujari, he actually do the puja to serve Lord Krishna directly. But all the devotee, they assist. Someone make the garland, someone clean the temple, someone prepare the prasad. So these are the indirect way of serving Lord Krishna. And this is the best way of serving Krishna. So Akura began to think within himself that he is unfit to see the transcendental form of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But then when Akura began to think, and he began to think that by grace of Krishna, everything is possible. Akura was thinking ki I am a demon. Why Lord Krishna will give his darshan to me? But then he was also thinking that by the grace of Krishna, everything is possible. And if Krishna likes, I will be able to see him. So when we see that Lord Krishna, the original Vishnu, by expanding his internal potency, he created all these inhabitants of Vrindavana. And in Brahma Samhita, it is confirmed that the abode of Krishna's are the expansions of his internal potency. And the same internal potency Krishna exhibits in Goloka Vrindavan. And this same he is exhibiting in the earthly Vrindavan. So you see this Golok Vrindavan and this earthly Vrindavan. This earthly Vrindavan is the reflection of Goloka Vrindavan. That is how Lord actually appeared here in earthly Vrindavan with all his inmates. Right? So, so that is where we are. So he come in this earthly Vrindavan, and there he actually enjoys himself with his parents, his companies of all his friends, all his cowherd boys and gopis that we see. So people can remain constantly in Krishna's consciousness by discussing Lord Transcendental Form. So that is how we see that in Vrindavan, also in Mathura, right? And also what all the devotees are doing. So they constantly remain in Krishna's consciousness by discussing Lord's transcendental form, his qualities, his pastimes. So, what happens doing that? So, if we do that, the whole universe actually live very auspiciously, right? They will live very peacefully. But without Krishna's consciousness, the civilization is just like a dead body. So this we see if a dead body, however nicely we decorate a dead body, but without consciousness, all this decoration to the dead body is useless. That is how the human society also, without Krishna's consciousness, it is useless and lifeless. So now this Akura, he is thinking that the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna, has now appeared as one of the descendants of the Yadu dynasty. And those who are actually following these laws or his laws, they are the demigods. And whoever is breaking these laws, they are demons. So the demigods and the devotees of Lord, they take pleasure in following the laws of Krishna. And Krishna takes pleasure in giving them all sort of protection. So this Vrindavana is always absorbed in the thought of Krishna. So everybody remember his pastime and was constantly merged in the ocean of transcendental bliss. But you see this material world, it is so contaminated. So contaminated that even in earthly Vrindavana, we see that there are so many asuras and demons. They are trying to disturb the peaceful situation. And the situation is so terrible. It is so terrible that even in Vrindavan, everybody started crying, saying, Krishna, Krishna, please save us. And then Krishna saw that even the cows are running with fear. And then he immediately replied, don't worry, don't get afraid. Don't get afraid. So all these things actually Akura saw. He went to Vrindavan to bring Lord Balram and Lord Krishna in his chariot. So we see here that when he was bringing, so in that mood actually, Akura actually, he was driving his chariot and he actually reached Vrindavan, and we can see here that all the gopis, they started crying. They started crying because they cannot even live for a second without the presence of Lord Krishna. So all were in a very distress. They were very unhappy and they surrounded the chariot. They blocked. They protested. It's just like strike. But then what happened? Krishna actually assured them, don't worry, I will come back. I am going for a business. And what was the business? Externally, it was like attending the festival in Mathura. Attending the festival of wrestling. So, this Akura, he was at the end of the day, he bring them towards Mathura. towards Mathura with Lord Balram and Lord Krishna. So when he was actually passing along the road, the village people, they came forward, they looked upon to the two sons of Vasudeva with very great pleasure. And Nand Maharaja and other residents of Vrindavana, they have reached much ahead before that chariot where Krishna and Balrama was going. They reached Mathura much in advance with all kind of gifts to pass to present it to Kamsa. So they reached Nand Maharaj and residents of Vrindavana. They reached much ahead and they stopped at one garden outskirts, that is very outskirts of the city, and they were waiting for Krishna and Balrama to come. So after joining Nand Maharaja and others, uh, this Akura, he actually uh, stopped there where Nand Maharaja and others were waiting on the way. So then Lord Krishna actually told Akura to stop there, and he shook hand with Akura and he told him, he was actually smiling and told him, you take the chariot and enter into the city. We'll come after resting for some time. But then Akura, he started pleading, O master, without two of you, how shall I enter into Mathura? I am your very ardent devotee. So, O my lord, you don't leave me alone. So it won't be also fair for me without taking you to my house, you and your elder brother to my house. You please come to my house and you grace my house with. So I will be very much pleased. So, and he is saying that I am a very ordinary householder and I am very much attached to all the ritual sacrifices. Akura was actually trying to persuade Lord Krishna to come to his home. And he want to invite him to his home so that his house get purified. He want that Lord Krishna's lotus feet dust actually come to his home. And that way it will do the purification. Not only his purification, but for all the forefathers, right? It's like a big sacrifice. Even all the demigods will be satisfied. So Akura said ki by bathing your feet, even Bali Maharaj, he got liberation and he got so much glories and fame that he ruled all the three worlds. The water of river Ganges was purified by three worlds, right? By bathing and becoming transcendental by bathing. By so the river Ganga, basically, if you see how it becomes so purified, because after bathing through the feet of Lord, it was become so purified. And even Lord Shiva, he accepted that same water of Ganges on his head. So that much purity one get actually. But then Lord assured that I will come to your home with my elder brother, but first let me satisfy my friends and well-wishers. by killing the enemies. Because as you see, this Kamsa was actually threatening all the kingdom there. Whoever is not following his rule, whoever is worshipping demigods, whoever worshipping Lord Krishna. So then by addressing all this, Lord actually stayed there, and Akura, he entered into the city with very heavy heart. And then he met King Kamsa and he informed him ki I am successful in your mission and I have bring these two boys in Mathura. Now Lord Krishna, he wanted to see Mathuras. So towards the evening, he took Lord Balram and all these cowherd boys with him, and he entered into the Mathura city. So Lord saw Mathura, he started seeing the city. So as you know, Vrindavan is a village. So if you have to compare a village and a city, so you see that Vrindavan is a village and Mathura was a town. So they wanted to actually go and visit Mathura because it was decorated with all tall gates, fitted with all main doors of gold, copper, and brass. And the whole city was beautified with very pleasant gardens and parks. And all the floorings, they were gem-studded floorings. They were all around the royal avenues, and the commercial streets were sprinkled with holy water. So Lord and all his friends, they were actually witnessing that. So as he was entering into the Mathura, the women of Mathuras, they were hurriedly, they assembled and they went for to see the two sons of Vasudeva. Some of the women, they climbed the roof of their house to see them because they all hear the pastimes of these two boys. So they were very eager to have a darshan of Krishna and Balram. They even climbed to the roof of their house to see. And some of the ladies put their cloths and ornaments backwards. They forget somebody forget their earrings, somebody forget their ankle belts. Somewhere the women forget to apply their makeup. They put the makeup in one eye, but not the other eye, because they don't want to miss. And even there were women and the families, they abandoned their meals. Some went without finishing their bath. And those who were sleeping, they immediately they heard the news and they immediately rushed to see him. Some mothers were breastfeeding infants. They simply put the infant aside and then they walked out to see him. Why? Because the ladies of Mathura, they repeatedly heard about Krishna. And as soon as they saw him, Krishna and Balarama, their heart get melted. They forget all the distress. See, that is also that is how when we go to the temple, right? We forget all our distress. So these ladies who climbed to the roof of their mansions, they started raining with all the flowers. They showered flowers onto the Lord Balrama and Krishna. And all these Brahmanas, they are standing along the way. They honored these two lords by presenting yogurts, then pot full of water, garlands, the sandalwood paste, and other items which are required for worshipping Lord. They presented everything. They presented fragrant flowers, and the women of Mathura, they were just thinking, ki what severe austerities these gopis might have done, that they are able to perform, they are able to see regularly Krishna and Balram. So during this course, then what happened? Lord Krishna and Balrama, they saw a washerman approaching. So this washerman, he was actually dyeing the clothes. So this washerman with his assistant, he was cleaning, he was dyeing all the cloths. He was having a bulk stuff of cloths, and very beautiful cloths. He was arranging them. So Krishna and Balrama, they saw that. They saw that this washerman, he was having these cloths. So Krishna asked him to give him some of the garments, because as you know, they were coming from Vrindavan, which is a village, and you know how the attires of village and a town. So Krishna and Balram, they wanted to, he asked this washerman to please give me some garments. We want to wear them. So Lord Krishna said, please give some suitable garments for us. And if you grant this charity, you will be undoubtedly receive very great benefits. So that is what Lord requested to this washerman. But what happened on request done by Supreme Lord? This this washerman, he immediately become very arrogant. He become very angry, and he replied to Lord in a very insultly manner. And he said, this washerman, he said, ki you boys, you are village boys. How dare you actually ask for these clothes? These clothes are of kings. How you can ask them? You get out of here quickly and you go and beg somewhere else. You please leave this place if you want to stay alive. If the king's men, if they come to know this, they will arrest you and they will kill you and they will take all your property. So anybody in Mathura, if they try to become bold like this, generally king send his men, arrest them, kill them, take their properties. So that way, this washerman, he spoke to Lord very bluntly and very bracely. So after hearing this, Lord Krishna became very angry. And just within a friction of second, with his finger tip, he separated the man's head with his body. So after seeing that, this washerman assistant, who were also standing nearby holding all these cloths, they dropped it immediately and they ran away. So all these cloths, they are scattered. in all the directions. And then Lord Krishna took some of these cloths. And Krishna and Balram, they put on these garments, which is, they felt very pleasant. They wear it, and then the remaining, they distributed it to remaining other cowherd boys. And some were leftovers, which was scattered in the ground. So all the other people, they were actually witnessing all these things. So seeing that, there was one weaver. You know the weaver, right? He came forward and feeling so affection for the Lord, he said, "Ki this attire that you are wearing, this clothes, you are looking very nice." And he bowed down, and he, as a weaver, he presented them cloth ornaments of various color so that he can decorate Lord Krishna and Balrama. So that way, Lord Krishna and Balrama, they were looking very gorgeous. And so Lord was very pleased with this weaver. And Lord Krishna himself, he blessed them, saying that after that, he would achieve the liberation of attaining a form of like the Lord's. And that he will enjoy the whole supreme opulence, physical strength, influence, and very good memory. So after that, these two lords, they started walking. They went to the house of this garland maker, whose name was Sudama. So this Sudama is not his lord's best friend, but he is a garland maker. His name was Sudama. So when Sudama saw them, he stood at once, and then he bowed down, placing his head on the ground. And then he offered them seed and bathed his feet. So Sudama worshipped them and their companions with all the garlands, then pan, sandal paste, and other presentations. And the Sudama said, "O Lord, my birth is now successful, and all my family, they are free from all kind of contamination, because both of you have come to my place. My all forefathers, the demigods, the great sages, they are certainly all will be satisfied with me. You two are the Lord of the universe, and you two are the causes of all this universe, the entire universe. So, because of your plenary expansions, you have descended here. You are the well-wishers of all the friends, all the demigods. So, you actually, please order me, your servant, do whatever you wish, so that we can get engaged in some service of you." So after spoken these words, the Sudama could understand what Krishna and Balrama wanted. Thus, with great pleasure, he presented them with all these fresh garlands and fragrant flowers. So Krishna and Balrama, he actually adopted all these garlands, and then actually they started their journey towards Mathura. So also before leaving, this Sudama, he actually gave the benedictions. Sorry, the Lord gave benediction to Sudama. And he gave the benediction of having long life, fame, beauty, and the prosperity to all his family. And then he left that place to see um, Mathura. So that is how actually Lord Krishna actually entered uh, Mathura from Vrindavan. And Krishna was very much aware of Kamsa's plan. He was very much well aware because he was Lord. So he was very much aware of Kamsa's plans. So that is how he actually assured even all the Gopas and Gopis in the Vrindavan that he will come back. Let me first finish my business, and then I will actually come back. So that is how actually Gopis, they console them that Krishna will come back to Vrindavan. And he went to Mathura, where this demon Kamsa, he has a great plan to kill all this Lord and demigod who was worshipping Lord Vishnu. So he was having arranged this elephant. The moment Lord and uh, this both lords enter into the gate of the palace, this elephant will be waiting to welcome and he will crush them. And even in case Krishna and Balram they survive, then he arranged a wrestling match where these wrestlers were advised to kill all of them. So all together will actually kill Lord Balram and Lord Krishna. So that was the pastime where actually Lord Krishna and Balrama enter Mathura. So with that, actually, we'll end here. We'll end the class here. So anybody have any questions or any additions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, what is benediction?
Benedictions, basically, Lord, when we worship Lord, so it's like, whatever you wish, Lord give, he satisfies the wish of his devotees in the form of these benedictions.
Blessings?
Yes, so blessings are in the form, so the benedictions are in the form of blessings. So where Lord, and basically when we go to Lord, we call for blessings, right? So in return of this, whatever we ask for blessings, so Lord gives us the benedictions. So we have seen these demons, right? Hiranyakashipu and Kamsa, uh, they wish for long lives and powers. So Lord Shiva give benedictions. Lord gives basically he fulfill the wishes in the form of this benedictions. That
Prabhuji,
answer
just
your question, Mataji?
one more question. Huh? Uh, before Krishna going to the Mathura, Kamsa, the people all were happy, praising, like this you said na, just now.
1 minute, Mataji. 1 second, Mataji. Yes, Kalyani Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhuji, that was my mistake.
Okay. Any other questions? or anything you want to add?
Krishna was going first time to the Mathura, no, Prabhuji, for to see Kamsa at the age of 14.
There was no mention here. Actually, we can actually assume that he is invited by Kamsas to visit Mathura, because normally in towns basically they used to go for festival arranged by the king. So there was nothing mentioned if they were going to the first time, but uh, hearing this pastime, we can actually assume that keep first time, because all the township, they were so much eager to see uh, lordships. So we can say that he was actually entering first time, uh, because both sides they were very much eager to see Mathura, and even the Mathura Vasi, they wanted to see Lord. So we can assume that they were entering there for the first time.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, this Akura and Akrura is the same, or
Yes.
so why it is called Akura? Because we refer many places Akrura.
So Akura,
It's pronunciation.
anybody have any idea?
Hmm?
If they have differently Akura and Akrura?
Prabhu, it's the same. It's just the pronunciation, like how you pronounce it, I suppose.
Yes.
Okay.
And Prabhu, just answering Krishna went for the first time to Mathura. Nand Baba would not allow him to go to Mathura, and even when he went, he said, "I'm giving the taxes and coming back," because Nand Baba knew Kamsa would he had sent so many demons to kill Krishna, so
Yes.
Krishna was very well protected. And Krishna was 11 years old when he went to Mathura. And when he was born, when Devaki gave birth to Krishna, he came as Vasudeva with 4 arms. And Devaki
Yes.
said, "You've come like this. I asked for a child. I've not asked for the Lord to, I want a baby." Then, it is said that Krishna says, like, if you want me in the 2-hand form, then you have to wait for me for 11 years, like Vatsalya.
Yes.
Otherwise, I can kill Kamsa right now. She says, "I'll rather wait for 11 years and see you in the 2-arm forms." So when he's born, then he changes into 2-arm forms. So only then he is in Mathura, or now when he comes to kill Kamsa, he comes to Mathura.
Yes,
I hope I'm right and remember rightly. This is what I recollect, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Yeah, thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Ananda Mataji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji, and Dandavat Pranam to everybody assembled.
Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Dhaman Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Dhaman Pranam.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna, Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. So we'll end the session here. So we'll see the another pastime tomorrow. So please do join. Hare Krishna.